What up, gamers? I'm Jason, and today on Dice & Dragons, I'm going to be unboxing Gargoyles Awakening. This is published by Ravensburger Games and designed by Nate Heiss. It is a game for 2 to 5 players and plays in about 60 minutes. In this game, players will be taking on the role of their favorite gargoyles. This is based on the animated Disney TV series from the 90s, and being a 90s kids and absolutely loving that show, especially because you also had Jonathan Frakes and Marina Sirtis from Star Trek The Next Generation on there. Well, I just had to make sure that I got a chance to check this one out. In the game, you'll be going through one of 4 scenarios. There will be specific objectives for each scenario that are based on episodes from the TV show. Oh, I almost forgot, you can be Elisa as well. So you do have the human character that was their ally. So you'll be going through those scenarios. You must complete specific objectives while battling it out with enemies such as the Steel Clan, and you will hopefully work together in order to win the day. I think I've talked enough about the game. Let's take a look at what's in the box. Now we're going to take a look at what's in the box for Gargoyles Awakening. Been looking forward to getting this one for quite a while now. So we have the rule book for the game, example of the board setup, list of components. I kind of wish there was pictures of all the components, but I guess you have it just, in the setup. Instructions for the hero phase, instructions for the villain phase, villain attack, and then it looks like we've got a few different episodes, which is pretty cool because it's taking you through some of the fun stuff from Gargoyles and the instructions how to put together the buildings. So not a long rule book, and you do have a nice reference guide on the back. Let's take a quick look at the board. So with regards to the board, it has a few spaces to insert the buildings, which I think is actually really cool. The idea of having these cutouts, I think works really well. And let's take a look at the back of this board, because it looks like we've got some cool art and a nice representation of the show here. So all around sort of the tower, you got the Steel Clan, the Gargoyles, Xanatos. Very cool. So put that over here. Now, this is something I've been noticing in Ravensburger games as of late, is that the cardboard comes already punched out. And I was a little concerned in a few other games when I inventoried all the components. Not as worried with this one, because we will have to assemble all of the components. So as you can see, we got all the pieces for the different buildings, the tower. And we're just going to take these out, and you can see a little bit what they look like, move them off to the side, as we're going to need to construct these buildings in order to play the game. Now, we also do have some components that come in a bag, and these are also just pieces for the buildings. Now, I'm going to try to build the buildings and keep them all organized, built in the box. Don't know if that's going to work or not. Kind of hopeful that it might, but if it's not the case, maybe I'll be able to get a little extra room getting rid of the insert, but I'm not quite sure how that will all work out in the long run. So here we have some different tokens, and one of them already ran away. So we're gonna take a look what we got here. So clear, we've got some of the different villains, like the Steel Clan. We've got Possessed Gargoyle. Looks like we got an objective here, a floppy disk. Not quite sure what these tokens are for. Look to be like there's some type of runes. I'm sure they'll come into play during the game. We'll put these over here. Let's just see what else we have here. Yeah, definitely just a bunch of different enemy tokens. And what's interesting is you'll notice here, don't have the punch boards for those. So these are all just pre-punched. Here we've got some of the big major villains with Xanatos in his gargoyle costume and Demona. Yeah, it looks like we even have spell books, so that could be an objective. Here we've got, looks to be like another gargoyle. double-sided. Not quite sure why everything is double-sided, but I like the art and everything. Definitely feels like it comes from the show. We'll just put all of these tokens back. You got a good idea as to what you're getting. Now we've got another piece of a building. Now here it looks like we got one of the tracks as well as the character tiles, the different characters you can be. So this looks like it is the round tracker here. Next we've got our characters. So we've got Elisa with her special ability, and then it tells you what she can do in daytime. So after heroes rolled for an attack, they may reroll any number of dice. So these tokens are dice that you can spend. So then we've got Goliath. We can see the different actions that he can take and his health. We're not going to go through all of these abilities in detail here. We'll be probably filming a how to play for the game, or at least a gameplay overview. We'll take a look at it a little bit more. We got Broadway, Brooklyn, Hudson, Lexington, so all the major gargoyles. Then we have these, looks to be the different scenario tiles, the Reawakening as the first scenario, Information Warfare, Temptation and Magic, and then the Battle with the Steel Clan as the final one. So very cool. And this was one of my favorite cartoons growing up. Still is an absolutely great show, and I'm looking forward to playing it. So we've got what looks to be just some standees, bases right here. We'll put those back. These look to be some clips for tracking health and things like that. I wonder why there's purple and red ones. We do have miniatures for the hero characters, which is always pretty cool. Let's move that out of the way. So here we've got Goliath. Try to keep him low enough so the camera will focus on him for you. We've got Broadway. Definitely looks cool. We have, why am I drawing a blank on everyone? We've got Hudson. We've got, and he flew away. We've got Lexington. We have Elisa. And I believe this is, it's Brooklyn. I almost forgot the name. It was just escaping me. So love the fact that we have all of the different heroes as miniatures. We've got the dice, which looks to be just a special symbol as a lightning bolt. And then we have the claw mark for an attack symbol. So we've taken a look at a lot of the components. The last thing that we're going to need to take a look at are the cards during this unboxing. So we'll take a look at what we have for cards. I'm hoping that these are a little bit better quality than the usual Ravensburger cards, because just definitely not the biggest fan of them. So I moved the box just a little bit. So this looks to be like different scenario cards here. Things that will happen. So let's just take a look at the back. So the backs of all the cards are identical. We got things like Activate the Steel Clan, Focus Strike, Laser Barrage, Fly High, Electrical Defense. So we do have a lot of different cards here, but Schemes with Schemes, Shadowy Breach. I'm not sure if we use these on every scenario. It does look like there are some different markers as to when they'll be included. Assault Synergy, Tactical Retreat, Spiraling Thoughts. So overall pretty cool. Biker Gangs, Magical Commands. So these definitely look to be like these are a large chunk of the enemy cards. We'll put these off camera quickly as we'll open up the other deck. And it looks like these are probably all of the hero cards. So here we've got the hero cards. So it'll look pretty cool. Swap, pounce. And these are all character specific. I do notice that Elisa and Brooklyn's colors are almost identical, which I don't really like. So we'll take a look at what they are. So these cards will let you do different things. Card quality is okay if you're going to be playing with kids. I'd probably recommend sleeving the cards. So Brooklyn stuff, climb, tail whip. Lisa's cards, trip, attack, aim, shred for Goliath, slam, growl, because we got our trusty sidekick, who doesn't have a mini, unfortunately. Hudson with the combos, using the sword, called Bronx. Yeah, there's his name, Bronx. I was drawing a blank there. Too old for this. Lexington cards, being nimble, able to hack, use computers. So, really like everything that I see here so far. As I said, the real question is going to be just sort of assembling all this stuff and sorting it. That'll kind of let me decide how I really feel about just the presentation of this, because assembling buildings every time is not something that I'm going to want to do. And I really hope that they took that into consideration, because assembling and disassembling buildings is a great way to have them become damaged. So there you have it. We've taken a look quickly at what is in the box for Gargoyles Awakening. We'll get this all boxed back up and then keep it right here, as I'll be coming back at you with a quick outro. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like what you saw, don't forget to click that like button, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when our next video is released. Also, down below in the video description, you'll find links to all of our social media feeds: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you'd like to see some pictures of Julie and I playing Gargoyles Awakening, there'll be plenty of them on those feeds. Also down below there is a link to multizone.ca, a great Canadian game store. Click that link, get 10% off your next purchase. It's a great way for you to support the channels. A portion of that purchase is returned to us. And then popping up in front of me are going to be links to some of our previously released videos. Over here will be one of our most recent releases, and I haven't quite figured out which one yet, but over here we'll take you back to one of the reviews that we did for another Ravensburger game. Either maybe Alien once we get it played, Wonder Woman, Challenge of the Amazons, Back to the Future, Dice Through Time. You get the idea. With that being said, don't forget, keep playing games.